Hei sann, jeg heter Cole, og jeg kan snakke norsk. Hello, my name is Cole, and I can speak English too. Out of the 328 million people that live in the US, only a mere 72 million of us can speak fluently in a second language. The Washington Post confirms that only 22% of all Americans can hold a conversation in two or more languages, which is very little when looking at other countries. When comparing culture to culture, 90% of Norway knows how to speak English, but only, which is a lot compared to the 22% of America that knows how to speak a second language fluently. America has a lot in terms of diversity. It has plenty of African Americans and Hispanics, but race does not represent culture. Culture is more religion, music, art, languages, not race. To implement culture in America, the best way to go about that would be to learn languages. Another thing that America struggles with in terms of culture is they don't teach enough diverse languages through standardized schools, but public schools mainly. Public schools mainly look at Spanish, French, and sometimes German, so they don't look at other languages that could be more diverse. Of course, Spanish and French have their ups, as they're way more useful than other languages, but they don't keep cultures alive. Also, Latin is a good example of a language that schools teach. Latin does not have a culture. It is a dead language, but it is helpful in terms of science and other areas. What the government should do about this is they should motivate students to learn more languages. Now, I refrain from saying they should make students learn more languages, because the best way to learn a language, trust me, is you have to want to learn a language to learn it. If you don't want to learn a language, then you're just going to hear a bunch of words and it's not going to mean anything. So by government enforcing more stricter credit hours or such on students to learn languages, that won't do much. You have to motivate students to learn more. But one thing that they can do that shows a direct result is they can make more rigorous standardized tests. They can require more rigorous standardized tests. The tests in school today are too easy. They don't really represent what you know about the language. They just mainly look at the grammar, but grammar is not important. It's not as important as other things when learning languages. An important thing to look at when learning languages is when we were a baby, we weren't taught the difference between you are and your and your. We were taught clock. We were just taught single words. This is how we learn English, which is the best way to learn English fast. And any language fast. Semenova mentions that language training provides not only medical information, but also has a great educational value. That's right. Language has a lot to do with medication, which is good, because in fields of medication, languages, people wouldn't really think of languages relating to fields of education, such as medicine. When you think of doctorate degrees, you don't think of languages, but Semenova proves that languages are very helpful when looking at doctorate fields in medication, especially in this time of dire need through COVID-19. Communication is key. Another thing that students can do to help learn languages is they can motivate themselves. They are the first step. You're the first step in learning languages and keeping cultures alive. You can't rely on the government to teach you languages. You have to want to learn languages. Like I said, motivation is the best way. Auburn University says dealing with another culture enables people to gain more profound understanding of their own culture. This is true. Many people don't think that America has a culture, but even America does have a culture. America in itself, we have July 4th. That's a recent example. America has a culture as well, so it is important that we keep our own culture alive, and by learning other cultures, we can be more proud of our own culture. PBS mentions that there are so many advantages to learning language as well, which is helpful for students to know, because being bilingual improves your memory, as PBS says. This is definitely true. You think in more than one language, literally. So yes, it definitely helps with your languages. And to add on to that, Kendall mentions that foreign language study grows your brain, which is basically it helps your memory, like PBS mentions. And on top of all that, learning a language is fun, and it's a life skill that you can say you have. That's it's just a life skill. Imagine saying that you can speak a second language. That's always cool, even at the basics. And in conclusion, the thing that students watching this need to know, doing specific, is make an effort to learn a language. It really does start with you, and trust me when I say that you need to want to learn a language to actually learn it. You can't be forced. By learning a language, you're helping the U.S. keep from cultures from different countries alive. Whether you learn Spanish or Russian, it doesn't matter.